Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here. I don't know about you guys, but I am sick and tired of all the scandals that surround the COVID-19 pandemic. And the latest one today, I'm going to reveal to you that over in the state of Florida, there are many labs and hospitals that are only reporting the positive test results. In other words, if you leave off the negative, then you have a really high turnaround rate for how many people test positive for a virus, giving inaccuracy to the numbers and information. Again, this is why I encourage you guys, get on over to Restricted Republic. I created this with Justice Night because I've got so much more information. Here is where I've talked about how they assume and they presume cases of COVID, the actual count, what it should look like. I mean, all this information is there. Get over there. I even talked here about the 2018 flu pandemic. Yes, this is a pandemic, by the way, that struck early on, like January, February 2018. They had tents outside of hospitals. Hospitals were so full that they were turning away ambulances. Yes, that was in 2018. So again, why are we in such a panic mode right now with the COVID-19 pandemic, acting like we've never had overwhelmed hospitals when we did back in 2018? And again, we also had them in 2009. But I'm sidetracking. Just make sure you sign up, get on Restricted Republic, 14-day free trial, by the way. But here we are, Infowars.com, COVID testing scandal. Numerous lab reports, 100% of people are testing positive for the coronavirus. At least 333, interesting number there. Labs claim everyone they tested was positive for coronavirus. This is impossible. So what's happening is basically, and I'm going to read you some of the article here, but basically they're only reporting the positive test and just completely leaving off the negative test, which would explode the number of percent positives in the state, which is what the state is using to determine if they're going to lock down their state or not, right? So it's an automatic secondary, third, fourth, fifth, sixth lockdown, right? It just keeps going. But COVID testing numbers are questioned after hundreds of labs in Florida reported 100% of people tested were positive for COVID. On Saturday, the Florida Atlantic University professor Rebel Cole released a list of the several labs in the state that reported zero negative results and over 3,500 positive COVID-19 results. And here's his actual tweet here, which he kind of gets into the positive rates. And he says 333 COVID testing labs reported 100% positive rates and basically over 3,528 positive tests. That is 34% of the 10,360 new cases that were reported. And he's just kind of breaking down one day so you get an idea of what's really going on. Without that today's percent positive, it would fall from 12.6% positive rate to 8.7. This is a big difference. When you're leaving off the negative number on how many people tested negative, you're really screwing with the system here. And this is a scandal because they're supposed to be listing it. But here's the entire list of labs, and he lists them here. And I'm just going to kind of blow that up for you. But all the different labs, and you can go to their websites, check out the information. But these are the ones that basically left it off. And let me scroll back to the article here. And here he states, right, that the missing numbers would lower the positive rate. And that's what I'm talking about. So you can see, let's take Lab 24 Inc., because this one completely leaves off this number right here, which is your negative count, and only lists the positive number, ergo the 100% positive test rate. And you can see it again with PanCare of Florida Incorporated, again, 100%. Whereas the other hospitals and other diagnostic areas are actually listing below and having the appropriate percentage. So again, this is throwing off our numbers and counts massively. And this is on top of all the other scandals that I talk about, by the way, on Restricted Republic. But he goes on, and he talks about another 31 labs reporting 90 to 99% positive rates. And he gives the positive rate here. And here's all these new cases, just another list that he shared as well. So you can get an idea of how this scandal is basically building up, right? But you get the idea of what's going on. So let me just move a little bit forward, because it's data and statistics like that that are causing people to be fearful and panic and pushing and supporting these secondary lockdowns. Here we are on the Economic Collapse blog, a great article by Michael Schneider, Lockdown 2.0. The new wave of lockdowns is going to ensure that the U.S. remains in economic depression through the 2020 election. He's not wrong. I've stated since the very beginning of this pandemic, since they started the initial lockdown, which I warned and predicted would happen, and it did happen. I also predicted that it wouldn't be only one lockdown, that there would be multiple based off the information that they were putting out. And I was 100% right. Here we are on lockdown 2.0. Some states are locking down again, others have not, and it's going to continue. The more fear and panic that spreads, the more that the mainstream media gets the message out there about how bad COVID is, something, by the way, with a 99.6 survival rate, the more that gets exploded, the more people are going to die, not as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, but as a result of the lockdowns and what's happening to our country. People are stressed out. They're depressed. They don't want to live in their homes 24/7. And our only means of getting relaxation, a lot of our, stress relievers have been literally cut off. You can't go to theme parks. You can't go to the ocean. You can't get on a cruise. You can't travel internationally and go take a break. You can't visit grandma and have that conversation. You can't, go outside and lay on the beach and just with a bucket of food and drinks. I mean, they're cutting off bars and restaurants, everything that is literally fun to keep us in this depressed state due to the lockdowns, by the way. This is above and beyond the normal. We had worse conditions in 2018 with our hospitals, and we didn't lock down then. Again, unrestricted republic, right? But only so much I can say here. But what I'm talking about is we are literally adding to our death count because of the stress we are adding to our bodies. More people are going to die as a result of heart attacks, as a result of stress on the body, as a result of cancer due to the stress on the body, as a result of suicide. Speaking of suicides, let's get into some of that. Washington Examiner, suicides outpacing COVID deaths in Tennessee, data says. And this is back in March, right? And it's exploded since then. Let's go a little bit up here. July 13th, Fresno County sees spike in suicides during the COVID-19 pandemic. Here's another one from Washington Examiner, and this is later in May. California doctors say they've seen more deaths from suicide than coronavirus since the lockdowns. It's not stopping. The suicides are exploding, and it's hitting the elderly generation and the younger generation. These kids need to get back in school, right? This is doing a wallop on their brain. And I get, that we have all these essential workers out working in the grocery stores and working at the pharmacies and working at the hospitals. Our teachers should be part of that essential list and be back in school. And if not, there's also other options. But nonetheless, we have teachers. Why is it okay for some people to go and be essential? I'm just going to throw the question out here, but others not. Right? I think we're all essential, and we need to get out there and do something. We're losing our kids. Here's another one on the independent.co.uk, because this isn't an international problem. Coronavirus lockdown may have led to increased child suicide. It absolutely did. And this was published hours ago, right? We are putting more of our kids' lives at risks by not sending them back to school. Right? And look, I'm all for homeschool and all of that. I homeschooled my children. It's an option I'm seriously looking back into if this is going to be a nightmare sending them back to school. But we should have that option, because it is really hurting our children not having or being so afraid and told you can't even go back to school. And some parents don't have the ability to educate at home, right? I'm just being an equal advocate here. And so that's the thing. And let me just throw this up there too, because this is the other thing, is a lot of states and mayors and dictators and tyrants are telling us we have to stay on these lockdowns until we get a vaccine. The truth of the matter is, right? It may not even be possible. So what the hell are we doing? All we're doing is stringing out the pandemic longer. The same amount of people are going to die in the end. They're just making it happen slower and taking a lot of lives in the process via the economic lockdown. Another bombshell. A third study has now found that COVID-19 antibodies disappear very, very quickly. And this is on the mostimportantnews.com. The good thing is he includes all three of the studies there for you to look at, right? And here's the thing. If they disappear very rapidly, then that makes it near impossible to have that vaccine, right? Near impossible. So much is going on here. And I want to get you as much information on the scandals and what's going on. I am definitely not an advocate for a lockdown 2.0. We went through H1N1 pandemic together. We went through swine flu. Let's go back to 1918, right? The Spanish flu that killed millions, tens of millions of people, much worse than COVID. And they didn't do near as much as we are doing today. The forced mandate mask crap that should be a choice. This isn't about safety and security, right? Because they didn't make us wear a mask any other time in history. The CDC made it very clear that the masks are just for sick people, not for healthy, over and over and over and over and over again. And yet here we are, and they're removing the literal disclaimers off the mask. They don't even have to put them on anymore. Wonder why. Anyhow, I'm digressing. As just a quick reminder, I want to encourage you guys, don't forget to check out my partner at preparewithlisa.com. Look, you're going to want food storage on hand. I'm going to be blunt with you there. And right now, if you just start with at least a 1-week food supply, at least you have something in the event that something happens with the grocery store food. There's no promises today. But if you can get that 4-week food supply kit, they also have other options. You can contact them on with giving them a call. The number is on the 1-888-803-1447, and they can put together other packages for you as well. So give them a call at preparewithlisa.com. I mean, go to the website or give them a call. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.